because she is coming on in February.
Okay, but she's not here yet. That's totally up to you guys.
I don't care either way.
You guys, yeah, they want to
Because we
keep
still
that
don't know
happy.
if other people are
Right.
gonna.
Sit beside her.
I'm still working.
That would be the only thing that
Yeah.
would, because that's kind of what happened before, like everybody's like, Amber, come sit here, and then it's like, oh,
It's all
we
good.
already in line.
Yeah.
We just didn't know it.
I'm not
Well, I don't
stepping
know.
on feet.
Okay,
For the life of me.
maybe we'll just go without it if we have to.
So Donna, my concerns are that we may have other applications before this comes to be, and I think that's some other members' concerns. We may have some other applications, and that was my concern, that's all.
Okay. Applications
For the position that's open.
for membership?
To become on the committee.
Oh, that's fine. I'm all right. I can talk back
We-
there.
Right, right.
I don't need to be up
We don't
here.
want to rush things, but,
Right.
you know, we just, we want
You
to be
want this chair?
as
I'll take
official
the chair.
as we can be.
Oh, that's fine with me.
Oh, let me do this.
So we're a couple of minutes overdue.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, honey.
I'm not usually late for anything.
Anybody need a little calendar here for one?
Oh, shoot, I had a couple too in my pocketbook and I left one. One night, actually. Okay, there's one more here for some of those.
Okay. Thank you, Donna, for printing all of this off. We do appreciate it. Before we get started, I did have the girls from, some people call them,
P-Fan.
yeah, how do you say it?
Pecan.
Pecan, contact me and want to be put on the agenda. I said tonight, yeah, but in the future, we need to have a little bit more notice. So if you could put in our new business, just add 5 and put them on there, the gals on there, that would be wonderful.
Who, what is it?
P10.
The 15
The network.
theater.
Oh,
action
network.
I
network.
call them network.
I gotta write that or I won't know what I'm talking about.
So let's call the meeting to order. And let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I wanted to welcome everybody here. We all know each other at this point, but we probably ought to do a roll call. So Patty is here. Amber is here. Margaret Bray is absent.
Yeah, she's not able to be phoned in. I just checked with her, so.
She's not going to be able to what?
Be phone in.
Okay.
Yep. I did.
Myself, Ann Matthews, Jen Watson is here, Dale is here, and that's our committee for now. Has anybody talked to Peg about her being on the committee, if she's going to stay on the committee, if she's not going to stay on the committee?
She wants to still be on if you guys want her.
Does she plan on participating?
Yes, when she gets back.
When does she get back?
In April. March or April. March. March. March or April.
And then she's home for how long?
I don't
Till
know.
next winter.
Till November-ish.
Right.
Well, I guess we probably ought to discuss that. Does anybody have any feelings that they would like to, yes?
I think she's a good asset. I realize she's out of the country part of the time, but when she's here, I think she's a really good asset. She knows, everything that's going on, and she has people, and I think she's a good asset.
I think she probably does know a lot about it and stuff, but I wish that she was participating. That we could get her on the phone or something. She's had no input.
Would she be offended if we asked her to be in more of like a advisory role when she's here versus an official role? I don't know her, so I don't.
What do you think? She would be offended?
I don't know.
I'm not sure either. What do you think? You know her.
Well, I do know her, I've known her a long time, but I don't know how she would react, and at this point, it's not Peg's, without saying kind of harsh, it's not Peg's feelings I'm most concerned about, it's our committee, and it's the work, and the theater that I'm worried about, and not necessarily, it's the position. She is a wealth of information, but the fact that she's not here to give us information half of the year and participate is it's not okay with me. But I love it when she can be here. Lots of times in the past, I don't know what it will be like this year, we don't meet sometimes in the summer. So
Yeah.
there's a few times there that.
Right.
Do you have any thoughts, Patty?
Well, I'm just thinking that if we wanted to keep her in the loop, maybe to keep her on as a member but not an anytime officer where she's not available.
Do you talk to her and let her know what's going on?
Yep, I send her out what you guys are discussing,
So she's getting,
emails and everything.
Do we get any kind of response, any kind of feedback, any kind of?
Well, at this point, we haven't.
Right,
No, because where she's at, there's not much for internet service.
I mean, it sinks to think of it as all or nothing though. I mean, it would be great if she would participate when she's home. But if we could free up the committee spot for somebody that can participate. But
You know,
I don't
I'd
know if
love
she
to see a
would.
committee member that may be somebody that might be a professional and be able to answer some of our questions that we have. Maybe somebody that's on the town council, or somebody that maybe has been in the past, or a financial advisor, or a
Theater person.
theater person, or a professional lawyer,
yeah. I see. what you're-
accountant,
Yeah, I
or,
see
you
what you're
know.
saying, yeah.
So how do we proceed? Do we
Good question.
call her? Or do we send her?
Do we send her a nice letter?
You probably, but you don't ever talk to her. You're just emailing her this and you don't really hear anything back.
I mean, this is our 4th meeting?
Have you talked to her though?
No. This is our 4th meeting, I believe, since this crisis started, and she hasn't been able to phone them once. I mean,
Okay. Well,
I guess.
I think that we should just let her know. I mean, if we think it would be better to have somebody that can participate more, let her know and ask her, tell her how much we value her input and would love to have it, and hope that she'll continue to be a part of it, but that we really need somebody here that can participate.
okay, so
Something like that.
what you're saying is, perhaps we should write a letter and explain to Peg that we value her and that we love her input, and we would love her as an advisor to our group, but as a committee member, we respectfully ask her to step down, so it would make way for somebody that could be here during this crisis.
Yeah.
So, does anybody want to, second that?
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
So she would be like, like with Maria, like, because
Yeah,
she's not in
definitely.
Pittsfield, she couldn't vote, but she would have
Yep.
input.
Yeah,
She'd be
definitely,
okay with that.
definitely.
No, we don't wanna totally kick her away.
No,
But there's
no.
people who
No.
are gonna be here.
If anything, we
wouldn't be
want
here.
her here.
Yeah.
She has
You
a
have to
great
say-
history, and she does have,
Say this, and then somebody will have to second it. You have to go that way. You can't just say, second it. You have to say whatever it is. I don't know how it's properly worded. Anyway, if you don't.
Didn't you just, well, not exactly.
No, because she's running the meeting, so Ann can't vote.
Oh, Ann can't vote?
No, because she's a chairperson.
Oh.
What?
Until, if it's a tie or whatever, then I think you can, but we have enough people. So you would have to say,
I've never heard that the chairperson wasn't a voting member.
No.
Yeah.
well, I think we're all in agreement tonight that
Yeah.
we're going to,
Yeah.
and this is a learning curve for the audience. All of us have, we're learning as we go. So, okay. So, we have not really gone over the minutes. We've got to back up a little bit and let you do the minutes from our last meeting. Oh, no.
It's a pen now.
Oh. All right, we're going to have to get ourselves together.
Roll call, Ann Matthews, Patty Berry, Dale Nichols, and our new members, Amber Quint and Jennifer Watson, also attending, Maria Farmer and Donna Dunphy. Connie LaCrosse has resigned from our committee. We discussed many ways to help the theater, such as cut back on days, raising prices, classic movies, bands, and half off, I put but I meant off, coupons. All things are tabled for now until Rochelle has had time to go over all the theater finances to see what will benefit us. Donna is waiting to hear from Riff and speak to Barbara De Niro. A new finance committee has been formed with Amber Quint, Jennifer Watson, and Ann Matthews. We are trying to work on our calendar for things to help bring in more money. Respectfully, Dan.
Good job.
I would just add that it's a subcommittee.
Oh, it's a subcommittee. Subcommittee, okay. What's the difference?
Because this is the committee, so it's the main thing, and then the.
Oh, it's off of that,
Yeah,
okay.
committee of the committee.
Yeah.
Okay, so any old business that we would like to discuss? Discuss the situation with missing members, we've taken care of that. Anything else that we need to discuss?
Are we gonna fund new positions?
Yep, we're gonna get to that in new business. I kind of put down the finance subcommittee.
Okay. We can talk about, we met on Friday evening with Rochelle, who's here with us tonight.
Thank you
And
for coming
thank
tonight,
you.
Rochelle.
She's amazing. I cannot believe what she did in a day. I did not understand numbers like at all. And then Jim Shinkat was also there with us. So it was the five of us, and we talked about, she had put into a spreadsheet, I don't know if we want to look at it now, but the revenue stream from all movies, and then the budget from 2018, the actual 2018 budget, and then the budget for 2019, and we're just kind of going through and trying to figure out where we have questions and where things might be cut, if things aren't backing up, and so we didn't really come to any recommendations or conclusions yet, because we still want to look at all the data. But we did look and just talk about, I wrote it down here, There were just little things like, do we need a landline telephone, or could we have a cell phone, and the supply budget, and so we haven't really come to anything yet. And then we talked about the sponsorship, and we want to see if we can come up with a set price, I think, for the week, because it can kind of be confusing. Is it $250? Is it $350? Is it a percentage? So we're thinking maybe if we came up with a set number, like just throwing out $400, and that would be the sponsorship, and it would go towards paying for the movie, and then whatever else for running it that week. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's a good idea, just to have something, so if we don't undercut the amount of money for the week.
I do have questions, Donna. When people donated money in the past, do they get a tax write-off? Do you know? Like, have you sent them a letter with like a tax ID number? For
I've had, it depends on what, yeah, if they ask for it, yes, and sometimes when I go out and get donations for things, I have that now too, so that when I do a letter, it does have a tax ID number.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. So we do have, that was one of the things we wanted to know, so like, yes. We were,
I have one question. Has anybody given you any sort of time frame when you can get your credit card machine?
No,
Who is the person in charge of that?
the people in the town office, like,
Mike at the town office.
because we were talking about also memberships as a way to increase our revenue, and it would be really helpful if we could do that online. I think if we want to get it up and running, we could still put it up there and have like a tier, say, I don't know, it's much for a membership, and you get certain things, and have them mail a check if they're out of town. So if we can get that started, because if we're not going to get a credit card machine until August, I mean, then
Right.
we're totally blown. So
Or look into a PayPal account or
something.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of a hot time right now. People want to
Yeah.
help.
yeah.
That would be a very good idea. And
But everything
any
will
kind
have
of
to go-
Physical machine is PayPal or something like that.
That has to still go through the town because it is town money.
Jerry, did you have a comment?
That's what I was gonna refer to, the PayPal. Like on Facebook, you can call to take action, and the PayPal will go through that right into the theater bank account. That way there it is, no questioning where it went.
Yeah.
It goes through PayPal and right into their account.
Yeah. So maybe the town clerk, be the one that helps us set that up, maybe?
Not the town clerk, it'll be Emily, I think, or Mike Reed.
I was
And
gonna
it's
say
Emma
Cunningham.
Lee. Not Emily, it's Emma Lee.
Okay.
I'm not sure what Mike's last name, but Mike would be the other person. Because I'm not even sure when they're getting, once the town office gets theirs, then I'll be also getting it for
Yeah.
the theater, but I'm not sure what their deadline is.
We were also going to look into concessions and see if maybe we could streamline it a little bit, because we are a small theater, so we need all of what's being offered right now. Maybe 2 popcorns, but we want to look at like what's actually being sold, and look at those kind of trends before we make any kind of cuts to that. Because if everybody's buying the small, then we don't want to cut the small.
Right.
But if we force them down to have only 2 choices, they're still going to want to buy popcorn, so we force them to choose one of those kind of thing. And then we don't have to buy all the bags and things like that. But again, I think we need to look at all those numbers before we come up with a good recommendation on where to streamline that.
And do you have some kind of record? You've always got to have some kind of record on what you actually sell. Not the money, not the dollar value, but the items.
Yeah.
Inventory or something?
I do like for the popcorn and soda and the candy. The candy, like if it's a $2 item, it all's into one. I don't have it broke down like, okay, this is what it is for how many snow caps and how many goobers or anything like, it's all into one. Same with the $1.50 and the $3, and if it's $1, you know, I
It's
don't
more of a
have.
price.
Right, I don't have it broke down like, okay, this is how many ring pops I've sold, or this is how many airheads. I don't have it broke down that way, but I
you
just.
can figure out you've sold
Right.
10 $50s versus 10 $3.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah, because that would be nice to know, like, if we could cut out, you know, I mean, to know if you're selling, you know, 5 Sour Patch Kids and 1 Goobers and 1 Mike and Ike's, but you sold 15, you know, Whoppers or whatever. I mean, you know, if we knew that, then it would be easier to figure out what we weren't going to buy, like nixing the Raisinets, or a Raisinet's your bestseller, or,
Right, I said, I try to do that anyway.
yeah. So that would be good if we could get some kind of anything on that.
That will take a little longer though.
Yeah.
We had talked about, do we want to raise Monday night to $2 possibly? But again,
Can
we're looking at-
I
Yeah.
suggest, can you speak up a little
Oh,
bit?
yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Monday nights, we thought maybe we increase it to $2, because from the 2018, that was our busiest night, but in total it was the lowest paid out. So if we could maybe increase it just even $1, then we could double what we're doing and still get all the people. Just an idea, something to look at. Rochelle had a great idea about a coupon book fundraiser. So we're going to look into that a little bit more and sell like as a fundraiser. I'm not sure if it would, what kind of coupons would be in it yet, but like that, which is something we had talked about. And then you had a question about depreciation.
Yeah, where is the, like, there's no depreciation in the budget. You know, like for the equipment, no? Have you ever seen a line in your budget that said depreciation at all? No. Okay. So, shouldn't there be somewhere? Okay, but Catherine really would be the one that sets this up. Well, when she gets back from vacation, I'll ask her.
Yep, so things are basically in the works right now. We're still looking at numbers, and we're going to meet again on Friday to go over some more numbers and see if we can't come up with some concrete things to put into a report and bring. Because I believe the way it works is we come up with our recommendations in the subcommittee, we bring them to this committee, we talk about them, make changes, and then from there we have to go to the town council.
Weren't we gonna too see if Donna could keep track of like hours for us, the what people are working and what days,
Right.
like if you could keep track of, well, I'm sure you do anyways because you pay them. But like, you know, like Tuesday I have, you know, 2 people working, you know, one comes at 6:30, one comes at 7:30 or, you know, whatever. So that we can look at that too and make sure we're.
Yeah, I think we were just talking about that because in the budget, the 2018 budget was $16.50, but then the actual was $22.99. So there was like a $4,000 increase. So we were just wanting to make sure we have documentation that they were there and working. So we would just make sure that my
Yeah,
tracking.
I do that, and that's upstairs. They also keep track of that, so.
So you guys fill out a time card or whatever.
Yes. Yep.
Cool.
One of the things that I kind of wanted to throw out to the committee, and just have you think about for now, is Monday night at this point in time is her busy night, or the theater's busy night. This last Monday night, I went in and volunteered some time. I think it would be great if Donna could rely on a volunteer on a Monday night and have one less paid person. Is that a thought that would work, Donna? That would be a way to cut back a little bit. And, you know, if we all took a turn,
So I was thinking if we all took like a day, like
if we all took a Monday, it wouldn't even, there'd be a month that, because there's a number of us, there would be a month once in a while you wouldn't even have to work.
right.
It's kind of fun. You see a lot of people. I didn't even touch the money, that's not why I'm there. I did a few sodas and a shovel of popcorn and, Jill took care of the money part, took the order, she told me what was needed. It was fun. I felt like I was helping. So I want to throw that out there, that perhaps that's something that we could do to cut back just slightly. Okay?
Can I make a motion that we
Yeah.
vote on if we want to participate one Monday a month, or 5 of us in a row right now?
Yeah.
And we pick a day, say the first Monday is Amber, the second Monday, and make a schedule of it?
It's fine with me. I have PTO meeting on the third Monday, so I'm out on that. And then next month it's actually the 4th. So the first or second would be ideal for me.
Okay, so are we going to second that?
The second.
We are.
Yep.
All
So
in
we want to
favor?
look at the calendar right now and see who wants to go next Monday?
I can go next Monday, the 28th.
So I did the 21st.
What time do you want me to be there?
We usually get there at 6:30,
Okay.
because the doors open at 7.
Do you have anyone scheduled already for Monday? Anyone scheduled to work already on Monday? Did
Yeah,
they
we
get
have
picked
2
up?
people on
Okay.
Monday.
They're already scheduled to work?
Yeah.
So one of them would have, one of them would not be working then?
Right.
Is that gonna be a problem?
I think maybe the first time around, while we're learning how to do it,
Uh-huh.
but then she could fade maybe that person.
Because how many weeks do they already know their schedule for? You know, how many weeks do you
It's-
already have written out?
Nope, they're already there. They're on a set schedule.
Oh, so it's the same
Yeah.
every week?
So if you guys want, I have a couple people that need time off on the weekends if anybody's interested.
I already work weekends, so it's not really either.
Yeah. Because that's an issue sometimes, to try to
Sure.
get somebody to work the weekend when they want the weekend off and they can only work, they've already got plans and stuff, so.
When do you need somebody?
I have, since we're into February, the 22nd and through 24th.
I could certainly take a day, a night.
And they would just be doing the popcorn and the soda and not running the register.
No, you have to, no, they have to run the register. So I'd have to train somebody to do that.
You mean both your hired people want to have the same night off?
No, I have one that would have to do the box office and one in the concession,
Oh.
So that would be the volunteer.
in the concession. Or the other person, I can have, like, let's say it was, because Patrick works Friday and Nathaniel. Nathaniel and Patrick both work Friday and, yes, Friday. So, like, if you wanted to come in and say that Patrick wants the night off, so I could teach you how to do the box office and keep Nathaniel in, working in the concession, so nobody else would have to be in there. But that person would have to handle the money and do the box office correctly.
What night would you like me?
I'll do Friday.
Okay.
The
You want to
22nd.
do Friday the 22nd? I'll write that down. I'll have to show you how to do the box office planning.
Yeah. Is it much different than when I was doing tickets for the concert?
A little,
Okay.
yeah, because that has to be Friday.
I'll do Saturday.
Okay. Thank you, girls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to get out of the posting. Try to figure it out. And
And 6:30 is what time you want us there?
And I'll have,
On Sunday, I'll have to see if I'll check on that.
I'll do Monday the 4th. Do we still want to do the Mondays?
What are you doing?
Monday, isn't that Monday? Yeah.
Four?
Yeah.
I'm not shipping, so that's.
Okay, anybody gonna take,
Well, I can take the 11th, because I won't be able to take the 18th or the 25th. So put me down for the 11th too.
22nd is Patty, 23rd is Ann. Jen is going to check.
And then the other four. Oops, I already got that down.
So I'll be there
how
the
about the
28th.
28th?
That's me.
Oh, you're on the 28th?
I'm gonna take the 28th, and then I'm gonna take the, of January, and then the 11th of February.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute.
I'm really confused. Okay, January.
Yeah, you're already on, okay, yeah. And then the 11th,
There is the 28th, and
yeah.
this is January. February 11th?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I can go forward. So then that leaves, what do we have for the 18th?
18?
I should be able to do it. I'll just have to check with Ron because that's the night he does his lectures.
So is the 18th still open? I'll take that.
Oops, that's February.
Aren't we in February?
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
just writing it down, February 18th, right?
Yep.
And then,
You get me twice that week.
oh, okay. So maybe you should be all set for,
I'll do the 25th.
and you're doing. Maybe, because she may wanna,
I just
be,
wanted to go in there.
she's already told me that she's going. She's going
Okay, good job on that.
But,
We'll see.
that's for 25th.
That gets us through February.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that's
Okay.
good.
I can write it, everybody. So,
Donna, do you mind if I ask, I'm not really sure what your schedule is.
I work every day, basically. It depends on what's coming up. I work Monday through Friday, I do not work in the evening. I have Friday and Saturday off, and then I have Sunday and the day off. I put in a 40-hour plus sometimes, depending on what comes up.
So you're not there during the movie times? When the movies are running?
On what days? On the weekends?
Any day.
So Monday
Yeah.
through Friday, you're there,
Yes.
and then Saturday and Sunday,
Monday through
you're
Friday.
off.
I'm still unclear. Monday
Monday
through
to Friday.
Friday, you are there while the movie is running.
So Friday evening I am not. I put in my time through the day, I put my time in through the evening.
So Friday night, you're not there during the movie. So Monday through Thursday, and then Friday day.
Mhm.
And you're off on the weekends.
Because I figured they were slow enough that, if it was busier, then yes, I would be there. But those are not very busy, so I let my other employees take them.
You do understand that your employees are pretty much gonna have to go. Most of your budget is your employees and yourself. And of course, you don't want you to go because you want a job. So,
But a lot of the times when it's slow, some of the work you do during the day can you be doing during the movie time, like the book work and stuff, and
I do
typing stuff
that.
in the computer and all of that.
I do that.
Is it real busy that you need these extra workers?
Because the only time, like, I am there Monday with 2 other employees because it's busier on Monday. I am there Tuesday with an employee. I'm there Wednesday with an employee. I am there Thursday with an employee.
Does it call for that though, is what I'm asking?
There has to be.
Oh, there has to be
Yeah.
2 people? Okay.
And then there's 2 people that work Friday night, 2 people that work Saturday, 2 people that work Sunday.
Yep.
So only staffed with 3 on Monday.
Well, I just had a thought about if we wanted to do volunteers, and it was something we had talked about before, if we wanted to go all volunteer. But some people were kind of wary about having all volunteers. The thought was if we could get like a list of people who were committed, and they all come in on like a Saturday, and they all train, and then they all get put down on the schedule. That might make it more feasible.
The only thing is too, can I put an input, is if I need time off, how's that volunteer gonna take over from when I'm on vacation?
Who takes over now?
My employees.
How many hours of, how many employees, you have 4 different people, right?
Yes.
And how many hours a week, do they all get different amounts, or they all get about the same?
About the same, they get around 9.
You get about 9 hours a week.
Okay, so was there anything else?
I'm not sure if Donna's answered your question. I didn't know if they would take over if you were on vacation. So.
Yeah, because I have one that, a lot of my employees, I train them on what I do also, so that when I'm gone, that they can fill in. They don't do a lot of my paperwork, I do that, but they do a lot of the other stuff. The ingesting of the movie, they do ingesting, other things.
That was all I got from the clients committee.
All right, well, let's move on. Any new business? So tonight was the night we were gonna vote and appoint a chair, a vice chair, and a secretary. And I'm not sure that we'll go about it just right. We probably won't. But as long as, I guess, we're all in agreement and nobody leaves here upset.
We just nominate people.
Yeah. Do you have somebody you'd like?
I would like to nominate you to be our fearless leader.
Yes.
I thought it.
You've done such a great job. You're doing great, Ann. I think you should just keep that momentum
Well,
going.
thank you. I appreciate that. I am a little hesitant because I've never done it before, but you do make me feel good.
Look at you, you're slaying it.
Well, I don't know about that. We're having a lot of help, and we're going to have to continue with a lot of help. I accept that position. So let's focus on advice. Is there anybody that would like to be a vice?
Organized.
Oh,
Ann keeps it all organized.
I can keep us organized. I second that. Would you like to be the vice?
I guess.
Do all of you agree on that?
Thank you, yes.
Was that a not me?
I would like to nominate Ms. Watson to be our secretary. You have done a wonderful job, but I know it's not your forte. And we appreciate you doing what you've done for us when our
Yeah.
secretary left.
I
You
don't know
stepped in.
computers, I don't know.
So we appreciate
this.
what you've done.
Yes.
So does anybody second?
I do.
Second? Would you accept that position? Is everybody happy? Okay, I know we haven't done that quite official, but as long as everybody seems to be happy.
I'll be official enough.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, we got that out of the way. I think we should consider, and don't necessarily have to vote on it tonight, but I think we should discuss a marketing subcommittee. That would be, help me.
So marketing, we would do like a lot of social media marketing, for not only the movies, but the events that we have, the events that we are gonna do for revenue, the events that we're gonna do for fundraising, doing Facebook, Instagram, Twitter are the big ones. Getting it out in the paper, not only a local paper, but going broader, doing Bangor, Augusta, trying to get it as far and wide as we possibly can.
Yes,
Et
ma'am.
cetera.
Can anybody volunteer for that?
Yes,
I
of course.
volunteer you.
Yes.
Okay.
Would you like to be on the committee?
Yes.
Awesome.
Your name is,
Jerry Lynn, Jerrylynn Perkins.
And we were hoping, right, that we could get the Theater Action Network, hopefully helping some of that, maybe.
Would anybody on your committee like to be part of that committee, or?
I could do that.
Oh, good.
so she's gonna be part of the marketing committee?
Yes, she is.
'Cause
Part
like
of the
we-
subcommittee.
Right.
Subcommittee.
Because we're having 3 from the community and 3 from this group.
Okay. And your name,
Leslie Knowles,
Thank you, Leslie.
how do you spell your last name?
Knowles.
Oh, Knowles, okay. Don't look at me.
I am old school, I have to say. I
feel like
had a
I'm
rough
not a
time
good fit.
getting the agenda to Donna today, so.
I feel like I'm not a good fit on that one.
Well,
I can get on that.
you're good.
Yeah.
So with the,
I second it.
can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, with the marketing committee, would they take over the Facebook
We could.
also?
Or do a video. Can't you just
Or
add
definitely
something?
update it.
It definitely needs some
Would
jazz
you
to
like
it.
them to? Is that what
Or
you're asking?
help me with that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Great.
What's that?
We can help that.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
So really Donna's kind of in on that committee.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because it's going to be a lot with you and the
I-
Facebook and.
I do have a web guy that I have. He used to be an employee. He's an older gentleman, and he was trying to teach me how to do the website, and I'm like,
What's
yeah.
his name?
His name is Mike Bouchard, and I told him, I said, I need to learn how to do this in case something happens to you, so that I can pick it up. So I only had one session with him, that was it. But anyway, he doesn't cost anything for me to have him, except for a free movie and popcorn. So I thought that was a good trade-off.
Is he the one that did your website, your new website?
Yeah.
That's him that did
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I don't maintain it. I just give him information to put on there, and he does everything else.
Yes, Jim.
That's where I would think that the push to call button, like the PayPal, like we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Obviously the town manager or whoever handles the business on that end account should set that up. That way there, if people just want to donate, say $5 or $10,
Right.
that they
Right.
could do it through there. Or somebody comes in off the street and they want to watch the movie, but they don't have cash. Then you can go right in there and do it through PayPal or tell them to go in there and do it through the, Facebook site. So that way there, we're not losing money at the door where we don't have a credit card
Yeah,
machine
the
yet.
swipe machine, yeah.
Is the card machine, like, are you just waiting for him to approve the budget on that, like approve to allow you to have that, or is it just?
The
like,
town's not even
the
hooked up
town?
yet.
Because like they have those
Squares.
ones that you can hook right into your cell phone.
Exactly.
Like you can
Yeah,
swipe
little
those
square.
just like that.
Yeah,
And
you just-
yeah, you can do it just like that.
They
and
give
it
them to
works
you
the
for
same
free.
way. You can actually there's other places
got mine
that you
for
can go
free.
in and do it just like that.
Yeah.
And it would be a lot easier to do it that way. No.
No, well, we have,
Well, like
We
you guys
have
had
been-
talked about a landline, getting rid of the landline
Yes,
as well.
yeah.
So if you were to combine this card reader with an access for you to
It all
also.
has to go through the town.
Right.
It has to go through the town.
Okay.
We're a town entity, it has to go through the town.
Okay.
So is that where things, I'm sorry, things have fallen apart? Because it sounds like you have the equipment you need. Is the problem in somebody coming and plugging it in?
I can only find out for you,
So that's something we need to find out about at the town council meeting.
yeah.
can we go forward?
All right, so we've got some numbers for our marketing. We'll work towards that. Shall we move on? So Donna, I'm very interested to hear about John, your meeting with John.
Went very well. I even spoke to him before I came, so
Awesome.
he was able to answer some more questions for me.
And John is from the Narrow Gauge Cinema?
Narrow Gauge Cinema.
And what is his last name?
I don't know what his last name is. I just know him as John from the Narrow Gauge Cinema. And that's how I have him in mind.
In what town, Donna?
He's in Farmington. I just want to get my notes here.
How many screens are there?
John has 7 or anywhere from 6 to 8 screens.
Wow.
Yeah. And he owns this himself. He did run the one also in Skowhegan, but he sold it a long time ago. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just, okay, that's my notes are in here. I just want to get my notes in order here. Because I did write down some stuff that I did for him tonight. Okay, I went over to talk to John on January 14th. And we talked about booking our own, or I would book our own movies. We talked about own films without going through a booking agency. If we did that, we would save $3,640
If you book your own.
if we book our own. Okay,
Save how much?
$3,640.
Yeah.
Okay. So, which would be a good savings for us. And we're talking to him this evening. He's gonna send me an email so that I can talk to another guy that does the, I don't know what film company he's from, but he's gonna send me that contact. And because I was asking him, what is a transition period between getting rid of our booking agent, not agency, but agent, and then for me to take over? He really couldn't tell me that, so now I'm on hold again until I get my email and I can come back to you on that.
Is there a reason there would be like a lapse?
There is, because I'm getting to that too.
Okay.
Because I had to send out letters to all the film companies. I'd have to send out a letter to my agent, which won't be very happy, but that's okay, because I have to explain to him that we no longer need him. So I just gotta figure out how to go about that until I can talk to Andy. And I'm sorry I don't have the information that I need tonight, because John has also been busy. So that was the other thing. So once I can get to talk to Andy, then I can go forward and find out, and depends on if you guys also decide that, okay, yes, we want to, or if you're already okay with me to just go forward once I get done talking to Andy, you know what I mean? So either way, I can come back to you if you want, or I can say, okay, then this is how it's gonna go, and we're gonna just take off with it. So it's whatever you guys feel.
I think we should definitely, I mean, unless there's something that sticks out as a red flag of, wait a minute, this is a bad choice, then
Right.
I think we need to follow and keep it rolling.
The thing, then once that's done, where am I here? 'Cause we still do not have, the other thing is, once that takes place, the percentages, we do not, we won't have much say on the percentages. It is gonna be what the film company says it is, just to let you guys know that. We talked, cause some film companies are gonna be more than others, and it also depends. Disney is a real stickler, I don't know people, and I know I repeat myself over and over on different things, but Disney is their, whatever they say it is, because they don't care if you're a small theater or not. Their percentage goes the United States wide. How well did that movie do? Because Mary Poppins is a Disney movie. And they're gonna look at, okay, not just our theater, but they look at the whole United States, and it did well. It could be 67% of our, I call it gate, you guys, it's that's what it's called, but it's the tickets. They're gonna take
So they get 67% of
the ticket.
what we earn at the ticket booth. Okay.
No matter if we charge $1 or if we charge $10.
Yes, Rosha.
I'm not sure what the formula is. Are we allowed to raise our hands and ask questions, or should we wait until the end?
Well, we
We
didn't
want you,
ask,
but-
wait till the end.
Okay, then I can wait. I'll just keep making notes. We'll just have to come back to a couple. Okay.
Can we just let her talk now? That would be just.
Okay, so that was what we were talking about. It goes how many weeks we have the movie, the faster we get the movie, the more the percentage is higher. And John said he will help me for the first couple of weeks to help me transition and to learn more. I'm working on my own things set up. And like I said, I have letters. I put down 2 letters, but it's gonna be more letters to the film companies because I have so many. And then once those are out, then I can do also the booking agency, and then I also will have to, let's see. I'm all over the place here. Just give me a minute. Because there was something else here. I lost where I was. Oh, the other thing was new contracts. I don't think I put it down here, but that's what I was trying to figure out too. Then I'll have to redo contracts with the film companies also. Because each time it's switched over, I went from one to another, we have to do new contracts, so I'll be all set back up again.
Okay.
And then we talked about advertising, and another thing that we could do, I know you guys said something about keeping the paper and everything, because he asked me how we advertise right now. And I told him to go through our local paper, and he's like, nobody does paper anymore. And that's another thing, if we decide not to do the Rolling Thunder anymore, that's another savings of $1,104 a year.
A year. $1,400
$1,100.
$1,104.
and 4.
I would can we get rid of that right now?
No. No. No.
Wait till the sites are up and going.
Because he says everybody is doing Facebook.
Not everybody. We're an older population. I just think we should just slow down on that.
Yeah.
I want recommendations. I would rather see the landline go then that go. But we'll, sorry we interrupted, sorry.
So you're taking off a landline?
No, finish, please.
Then how is anybody gonna find out what's going on? Besides that one? Alright. And we talked about our audience, our audience actually is 40 and over. And that's not just our theater, that's basically everywhere, unless it's a family movie. That's our audience. Okay. John made, and I brought this up last week, made suggestions about opening the door at 7 instead of 7:30. And I don't think my budget could sustain this at the time, as Monday at 4 and Saturdays at 1:30 and 7. Keep our Sunday 2 o'clock. There's just different things. We also talked about on Monday night, it could go to $3 and then offer kids popcorn or a small popcorn for $2.25, and he thought it would kind of round off about the same thing as a free movie. And I'm like, that's something we'll have to talk to him about volunteers like we're doing.
Does he staff with volunteers?
He does. I said, because where he's privately owned, yeah. I don't know how many other, I think Dover does the same, Dover, make sure I got the right place, because I get Dexter confused, but Dover does the same thing to the volunteers. I don't think Mount Belfast they do, or I know Flagship does. Your bigger theaters do not. I know Belfast does not. They have their own regular, not volunteers, but employees. The other thing John and I talked about, and he said that was seats, and I'm going to just kind of do this really quickly for you guys. Because this I should have already, I forgot about it. I'm going to say a new seat is around 300 times 61. Oh, excuse me. Make sure I clear that off. 300. That's what they were in 2005 for a new seat. I don't know what they are right now because I haven't priced them.
Is that cup holder?
Yeah, and I'm going to do this really quickly. 261 is what we have. So if we have I can go in here. 261 seats is what I have right now, is what we hold at the theater. And if we do 300 a seat, that's going to be $78,300 for seats, give or take.
That's a whole new seat.
Right, that's what the cup holders and everything. Now, John and I were talking, he has around 300 seats. They are high back, they are rockers. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those. I don't know if you guys have gone to the movies or not. They're the ones that kind of rock back and forth. They don't slide out like ours. They're called rockers, and they have cup holders. He is willing to give those to us when he transitions to his new recliners. And I was talking to him about that tonight, and he said that, but the only thing is, they won't be available until the fall or hopefully sooner, but he's not sure. But he's willing to go for us to have them. I do have, and I do have seats at Chris Cookson's at the Collision Center upstairs. They're okay. They're not the greatest. They have cup holders. They have a fairly good high back on them, but they're stationary. And I can use probably, and I'll go back to John's thing. His chairs that we have, that he has, that he's willing to give us, they are for slanted floors like we have. So we won't have to do any really change over much with our floor to put these in. Where the other chairs I have, I can use 50 of them, and then we'd have to figure out how to put the others in.
So him giving us the chairs, what would that entail with us for cost? Would we be in charge of removing them from his theater as
That
well,
I
or just picking them up?
Right, that was one of the other questions I have, and I forgot to ask him that, Amber, and I don't know. But
And then
I think it would be just for us to go over and get them like I had. the
pick
other
them
ones.
up and
Yeah.
then install
All
them.
that.
Well, and take all the others
Right,
out.
right. But with the other
Either
chairs,
way.
instead of just taking them out, but we can figure out how to keep some of them and maybe put one for the Historical Society, or we can sell the old seats to give them back into the theater. That's an option. But that's still a little ways. And okay,
Yeah,
but that's what I found out. And
Awesome.
that would be great.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
That's a lot of information. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
That's awesome. So, Rick is not with us tonight?
He is not. He texted me to let me know because of the weather, he will not be here tonight, but he will try to be here for next week. Along with Barb,
So next week is Rick and Barb.
Barb Johnson, and.
I talked to him a little bit.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
That's probably why I got it.
Does anybody want to share? Or do you wanna hold till
He
next
didn't, well, just from the little bit, I mean, I'm sure he'll talk more about it. And then I think he has a lot of his own ideas, which I'm
Great.
super excited about. He didn't think an open mic night would go very well. He thought a talent show type idea might go better. Yeah, we just kind of talked about that.
Cool.
And then hopefully, I thought I would talk to Miss Buzzy, Miss Weinstein. After talking to him, I thought I should talk to Miss Buzzy, Miss Weinstein, and Mr. Neal.
I always thought
And
they could
see-
generate some interest.
And see what they think. If they have some kids that would want to participate. I mean, even if we, get a little momentum going, then it's worth advertising and getting out there. But I think we probably ought to check with them first and see what they think. If they think that they've got kids that would want to do it.
My only concern is, I don't want to do it, or I would hate to see it, I'll rephrase this, I'd hate to see this being done, tried to be done in the spring. Because I think there's a lot on the kids, especially the graduating kids in the spring. With their senior projects, and they're ending up, finishing up their sports, their graduation. It's just a thought. Just don't get it too,
want to do it.
well, I mean,
March.
but it's
March
not,
is too soon.
it's not
Oh, March
enough
is way too
time.
soon. Like that. Yeah,
So that's a concern,
That was quick.
yeah.
that's a concern.
Because I would think it would need to be at least May, so we're really talking end of June or July, if you want to skip like the.
I think we should look into it, for sure. Maybe it
Here's
will
the
be
graduating-
something.
With the egg
June.
festival.
First, when.
What if you
we
tie
could-
that in with the egg festival?
Or
Did you just
their
say that?
bicentennial,
I was so deep in my own little world there.
or the bicentennial.
So June 2nd would be graduation, correct?
I don't know.
That's the first
It's usually
Sunday.
where it is, right around there.
Yeah, it's always on a Sunday. So June 2nd is graduation.
Rochelle, you had a very active child graduate just last year. Could you imagine having one more thing like that on your plate?
Yeah, I mean, usually, Warsaw used to have a talent show. I'm not trying to think of what time of the year it was, maybe February or March. They had a pretty good turnout, but then, nobody can compete against anybody, so they stopped the talent shows in the school, so. Yeah, it might be interesting, especially if we opened it up to the Newport, the Newport schools. There's a lot of talent over there as well. I know that Nolan's Hero Foundation did a talent show 2 years in a row. They didn't do well. But maybe it's a different caliber of talent that they were looking for versus just local kids showcasing their talents. I'm not really sure.
I think adults too, but I think mainly marketing it to kids.
Yes,
I do think that that even if we're gonna wait or whatever, that we do need to start ASAP, because we will, even if we're gonna wait till after graduation and stuff to do it, we're still gonna wanna be able to market it to the kids while they're still at school.
And you also have dance recitals the end of May also, just to let you guys know.
Well, we're definitely gonna pick Brooke's brain next week.
Yes, I'm excited. And do you want me to talk about the Burnham Boys too?
Real quick.
Okay. Just, I don't really know much. I've talked to Pete. He's gonna get together with Dan and Steve, and I told him, hopefully like April,
Yeah.
May-ish on a Friday night. And he was gonna try to figure out a time, get together this week and try to figure out a time with them. So hopefully by next meeting, I'm optimistic with that I'll know more.
Awesome. So we'll move on. Everybody in favor of moving on? Anybody have anything they want to add from here? We're ready.
Excellent. I just have 5 very quick things. 3 recommendations, a comment, and then Leslie to talk for a minute. So as most of you know, I think we've met as an organization, PTAN, twice as a group, and had some conversations about the problems facing the theater. And then Becca, Leslie, and I have had meetings with multiple people interested in the theater, and have just come up with some ideas from people around town. One thought worth mentioning was updating the website that came up.
They did that.
Which-
They've just done that.
Which I heard that Mike said that Mike's the contact person.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So somebody asked, Anna had asked if a member from our network could help to get more content up, and I just wanted to make it aware that we do have people who can do that, but we wanted to be sure that we had permission to help in that way first.
Okay.
I don't know if he's limited in what he can add. And then the story of Flash on the website, we wondered if there's like a different way to pay tribute to Marilyn rather than having the story of like the theater was once busy and then people got kicked out and now it's kind of empty.
What?
Yeah, so there's the story of on the theater website. It highlights the story of Marilyn, who the Friday nights are really rowdy and the kids are in there and it's loud, and she comes and she shines her flashlight on people and it gets people to leave. And I think now that we have an empty theater that's begging people to come in, it really does us damage to have our website saying we've kicked people out.
Now, I was on the website the other day because I'd heard something like that, and I guess
Since then,
I think so. 'Cause
I
I was
might
on there
have
today.
I was on there the other day.
I definitely
I found
have
it
read
last
what you
week, and I
read.
went looking for it after the meeting the other day,
Oh,
and I
maybe-
couldn't find
maybe
it.
Okay,
I think
that's super exciting.
Yes.
Because I definitely have read what you were just talking about.
Yeah, I did
I was
last week,
like,
so
actually,
it
it was
is
all
all
about
about. I
it,
haven't
Jason.
seen it
Yeah, I
since
was
I
on
said that.
today.
and it went down.
Well, I didn't see that, but I saw that the website had been updated, and I actually have reached out to Donna saying, oh my gosh, this is so much better.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, I will look at it again. I'm glad
Yeah, I
the story
didn't
of
know
Flash
either.
is down. That's one that we heard a lot, is we've kicked everyone out. Another one is we've heard a lot of like solution recommendations, and we would suggest maybe creating like a scorecard or an evaluation sheet that you guys can use as you're trying to compare recommendations, because it seems like we talk about solutions, but you don't have one set of criteria that you're using. I don't know if you guys have ever used a scorecard before, but that's something that we can help you create. You know, example things would be on there for every solution. You'd want to know what the cost is, what do you expect to benefit, maybe is it something you can actually implement, what are the administrative tools you would need, what are the resources that would go into it, and that way you can compare solutions and that information doesn't get lost. And maybe the same thing, Donna, I hear you talking to a lot of different theaters and getting a lot of different recommendations. If you had a scorecard to compare what each theater does, it might help you keep that information a little bit more organized. And then I was looking at the expense and revenue reports. Do you keep data? I saw Monday was separate. Do you have it for every day of the week somewhere else other than what you sent Jenny and I?
There's 2 that she uses. One is the how many per day, and then there's another sheet that says, like if there was 250 that came in that week, out of the 250, 200 were Monday nights, 50 were, or 25 were seniors, and 25 say were general. But it isn't, I didn't see, and maybe you have it, I did not see that it was broken down, like Monday, we had this many, well, Mondays I guess it doesn't really matter, but on another day, this many seniors and this many general. I don't know that we have that per day. You do on another sheet?
Yeah, because I gave you all that information.
No, the information that I have doesn't have
Per week.
per week. Right. Right.
Because I know there's conversation about cutting days, so I looked at that and I was gonna look and see what days maybe would make sense to cut, but I couldn't see any day other than what Monday and the other totals were. So if that's available, that would be helpful, and I don't know if you get it. And then another thing, I heard talk at the town council meeting, Catherine Ruth mentioned that the insurance was an issue for events. Did you guys talk to her and find out like clarity on what events you could and can't do before you get too much into planning?
She's been on vacation the whole time.
So we still don't know whether or not you can have events, what kind of insurance they would have to have as individuals. If we wanted to do an event, what we would
The only
need to carry.
That my understanding is if it's to, like with us, if we decide to do the talent show, then we're all, from my understanding, we're all set with that because the money is coming back into the theater. So there's no money exchanging, and there'd be fine underneath the amounts of theater. Whether because we're putting it on. The only time that my understanding was that if we went out, because we've had the Burning Boys in to play, but they've had to have insurance, but they've had sponsors, and they went under their insurance to have them to come in.
So it might be helpful if you had like an events policy that outlined, you know, what kinds of insurance people had to have, what those differences were in sponsorship, so that if people do want to do events, they know.
I think that when she comes back, we all need to have some clarification from her.
Because getting that and get a formal policy will be really important, especially like if we're gonna help you host events, which is something that multiple people have suggested for us, we really need to have it clear in writing what we're gonna have to have for insurance.
Yeah.
And then one last thing, and that's our fun thing, so that's Leslie.
We have gotten a Mary Poppins for the show on Saturday. So we were wondering if that was okay for a person to come in and dress up and kind of meet and greet the people as they were coming in and kind of create more revenue for the theater. You know,
More
I
interest.
actually
The dance idea.
I actually created a flyer if you'd like to take a look at it as well.
I put this on our
The
screen.
Waterville Opera House is willing to loan us the costumes.
Oh, wow, you have.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I
Yeah.
have. So the
But not break down the.
Right.
Day by day.
Okay.
So I have two things. Love that you guys worked on that, thank you, because I had kind of put it out there to you on Sunday. We've got to communicate, because we were both working on a costume and a person at the same time. Because I could have been doing something else.
I thought you were talking to Leslie.
Yeah, I previously talked to her and told her that we hadn't had anybody as of yet. And then I found out right before Lori had commented on the post initially on Facebook that Becca had suggested that she could do it. And I've actually just been working extreme amount this past week. And very odd hours with my new manager being in and my old manager passing away last month. So it's just been a little bit stressful. So I'm like,
I appreciate
I'm
it.
trying to do as much as I can to communicate with everybody.
Yeah.
And actually in the next week or so, I'll actually not be at that job anymore and I'll be down to a part-time job so I can communicate and be available a lot more for you guys as well as, well, it was mainly for my children, but I can help out you guys too.
Very appreciated, because I thought your group looked a lot more Mary Poppins age, because I thought at some point I was gonna end up being Mary Poppins. And I thought she was getting a little old.
Mary is ageless.
That's what you
I
told me.
I know, Mary
That's what I was like,
can
oh my God, if I have to
be, Mary
be
can be young
And then I did
or.
want to know if this was something that like was something we could do as usual, like a usual thing for Disney movies to create families in, stuff like that. If
Well, I'm kind of curious,
Mhm.
are they charging you for the costume?
it is a rental fee.
Yeah,
for
so
the
I'm
costume.
putting down a deposit, so we can't ruin the costume.
No, of course not.
Which is why we've decided, like, if we're gonna put down the rental fee, it's gonna be like someone we know and trust that's gonna have that
Exactly.
costume, because right now it's our money, because we're not taking other people's money.
I had also reached out to Bossaw,
Mhm.
because I thought perhaps there was something there. They do have maids' costumes. I love you getting the whole deal, because I don't know if you're getting the parrot, umbrella, or
We're getting the costume they used in their showing of
Right.
Mary Poppins.
But they're just in case something happens, there is
That's
always
good to know.
Bossaw. I was kind of thinking, with a little donation,
Yeah,
we might be
talk
able to
little
get
bit about getting into the MCI.
a makeshift. But anyways, I love this, but I think I love this end. I don't know if you want to just add one little line,
Mhm.
and it's up to you. It's your deal. But I think for us that are a little bit alive in person would
Okay.
work
I can do
great
that.
because, yeah, some people might think, oh, they mean Mary is on the
On
screen.
stage or whatever. Yeah.
Alive in person tells it all. She's
Come
gonna
mingle
be
with
there.
Mary.
I thought this was a good, like, I don't think we should necessarily get rid of the newspaper thing, but this is a good alternative to something like that,
Yep.
I've talked to the manager at Bud's and, he's allowed, use of his bulletin boards for all community events, and they previously put flyers and shop and save
Oh,
bags on ways out and stuff, so,
Up here especially.
if that's gonna cost less money than a newspaper, that's a way to get to the older, because they all shop at Hannaford, and so that would be.
Well, this Hannaford is independently owned.
Yes, by Chris.
Yeah, well, by Dean, but
yeah.
regardless, they're all fabulous and want
Mhm.
us to succeed.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I think it's great. I can see. Are you guys going to use Mary Poppins' accent?
We're
I could.
Bring that
Yeah.
Oh yes, Just hi, I'm Mary Poppins.
I do. I
And
brought a few copies with me today, actually.
I hope you like my movie and send it down the aisle.
Yeah.
Some popcorn on your way.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely.
We need to make sure that other people know too, like Newport, I mean, even the surrounding
Well, I
areas
have
and
shared on Facebook a little bit about it, because at first we just shared looking to see if maybe we could even find one. Just somebody to take the spot at first. And then we didn't get very many bites this time around, but I feel like the amount of people showing up maybe support more in the future.
Right.
More volunteers.
Yeah.
We plan on having the Easter Bunny coming
That's
Easter
good.
time. And of course, we have Santa Claus at Christmas time. We've
Mhm.
done that for 100 years. But I think Mary herself coming to the, just think it's as cool as can be. So thank you, girls. I knew I could count on you girls.
Did you want live and in person, Mary
Go to
Poppins,
Chin
live and in
Buzz
person?
and
I
get on
think how
the
would you
news
decide?
and
Yeah, I can do that.
pushes,
However she
and
wants
that
to.
way there, it reaches more people.
Yeah.
And also call
Yeah.
WKIT 100.3. They put out public service announcements.
WABI, I haven't talked to them recently about it, but I was going to email them and a couple.
What's the TV station that has the community calendar?
Yes, that's what I was
Channel
trying
5?
to. Yeah,
Channel 5.
that's what I was
That's
trying to. Yeah,
Just do it on the NPR website.
NPR. Okay.
Just go to MTV and do something direct.
All right.
Yeah, I was afraid my granddaughter would go, Granny, what are you doing? So I'm throwing it in person. All right, awesome. We appreciate you very much and all that you do, very, very much. So Rochelle, you have questions for us?
Yes.
Okay,
We're
my
gonna
dear.
have to go back a little bit, I apologize for, so we're a 501c3, so when people make donations, they're tax deductible, correct?
I've still got to work on that. I sent out an email because I was asking them up in the town office today and they really didn't know either. So I asked Michael and he's gonna find out for me.
Okay.
Is there another way to look that up?
I don't know. Right here, it's through the town. I think by default, it automatically makes it a 501c3,
Well,
but I'm
that's-
not positive about
Because
that.
I thought that, but then I got told, I've been getting told two different things. So I said, I really got to look in on that. So
But you've
I
been
got
giving
that.
out receipts with the tax ID number all these years.
Well, so whose tax ID number is it? The town's?
The towns.
So that makes me believe that they have to be under that umbrella of 501c3.
Because I
But it
know
would be
we're,
nice to know
we're
for
a
sure.
nonprofit. The theater is a nonprofit.
Should we see 3 or 4?
Yeah.
So like I said, he's working on that for me and I should find out.
Okay. Okay,
I'll let you guys, I'll let you know.
okay.
As soon as I find out.
So I think it's absolutely imperative that you guys start accepting credit cards like as soon as possible. I don't even think that it's acceptable that it's been a month since I heard Catherine talk about it at the town council meeting. We're a do or die here. We don't have a ton of time, and just the little things like the credit card machine that's sitting God knows where it is, that could be in your theater, could make a huge difference, because then we need to market the crap out of that it's not just cash only anymore. We now accept, credit cards and stuff, because I think that could make a huge difference. And then the only other thing that I would add is, if we do decide that, we are a 501c3, the new website looks great. I was looking at a couple last night, you could add a tab for
Yes.
donations.
Yeah.
So that's like step 2. So step 1 needs to happen as soon as possible, and then figure out step 2 about the donations piece, because supposedly we have all these people waiting in the wing to make all these donations,
From what we've heard, that is.
That's what we've heard anyway. Right. So those are just my thoughts about that. As far as volunteers on Monday night, our Key Club at MCI, those kids have to have 50 volunteer hours a year. So if somebody contacted Nancy Hughes, I guarantee that a kid every Monday would probably be available at some point, so that you guys aren't having to rotate every single Monday. I feel like you bring the kids in, you have them fetch the popcorn, you can still have the other people do the concessions and the ticket sales, but these kids are also, if you have the right controls in place, it doesn't matter who's accepting the cash. I just don't know what we have for controls in place. But they could at least be running the candy, popcorn, sodas, whatever, while
Right.
someone else is
Putting
taking
the
the
orders
money.
together.
Yeah, so we could,
Right.
potentially eliminate a position on Monday night if there's 3 people there.
Right.
So that's my thought on that. Okay, the booking the own movies you mentioned was gonna save us $3,620. I have 2 thoughts about that. The first is, I'm assuming that's gonna take your time to start booking the movies. So if we're not paying somebody and you're already working 40 hours a week, how are you gonna have time
That's
to do
gonna
that?
be, that will be also into my job. But that way, then I would have to have an employee to take over my time.
Something else. So you'd be delegating something else to take on this booking thing so that you stayed, okay.
Yeah.
And then my second question is, right now, is our percentage between 25 and 30% right now? The sheet
No.
that has the booking fees, the one that says, the revenue sheet that you and I looked at together where it said 25% minus 250 or whatever the column is, what is that percentage? The 25 and 30% of $250 or $300?
That was what it was. Now it's anywhere from 40% to, like I said, I think the highest one I've had was 67%. Is because the movies are coming in sooner than what they used to be.
So where do those percentages show on those sheets?
How much more?
The the one that has, it's basically your revenue sheet, it shows the concessions and it shows the booking, well,
Right.
the ticket sales or whatever. Yeah, that one.
Yes,
Can I see that?
This
Yep.
is 17.
this is what you're looking at, it's right here,
Okay.
right? Is that's what you're talking
Yeah,
about,
a lot
right
of the ones
here?
that I saw in 18 were like 25 to 30%.
Yep, and then,
Okay, so my only question was, if we start doing the booking, when you started talking about the fees being 67% or whatever for Disney, by us doing our own booking, those fees don't go up, do they? Those percentages?
no, but I have no control over what the film companies will charge.
And
But do you have
before through a broker, did you have more control over
No,
what they charge?
no.
So it's no different, really?
Right, exactly.
So it truly is a $3,000 savings by eliminating that booking. We're not gonna have any upcharges anywhere because we're doing our own booking.
Right. The percentages are still gonna be around anywhere from 25 until up to, it all depends on how soon you get the movies in, is what it is.
Okay.
If you go back to, I can't say that now either, because it just depends on the film company, anywhere. Because it can be 35% of our intake at the box, or it's gonna be 250, which is the 100%,
Mm-hmm,
or 300%.
I see. Okay,
So whichever
okay.
is greater.
I misunderstood. I thought you meant that because we weren't doing the booking anymore, that those percentages were going to go up, and I just wanted to clarify on that.
They could, it depends on how soon they come in. How soon do you want the movies? Do you want them when they first come right out?
I don't think we can afford that.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, because my only goal would be if we're gonna eliminate $3,600 from doing our own booking, I don't wanna waste money because movies are coming in faster and we're paying a higher percentage there.
Right.
And
We're gonna have
because it's
the
taking you 15 hours a week away from something else.
Right, right.
Exactly, so I think we need to be careful there. I'm all for having you do your own booking, but I wanna make sure that it doesn't eat into our
Right.
savings by you doing it.
Right.
Because how many hours a week will you spend, how much time will it take you to book a movie? You know, you have no idea yet because you haven't done it. How much time does it take you right now?
I said, I just picked out all the way up until February right now, because I wasn't sure where we're at, and I have,
How long did it take you? Pick them up, line them up.
it takes a little bit, because I said I have to figure out what, I'm gonna say probably about, depends on where I'm at in my day, I'll sit down and look, and then I'll have to reevaluate and look it all over again.
Does it take an hour, 2 hours?
Half a day?
It can, because I have a lot to look at. I don't know, I really haven't really thought about it, because I've just done it. And so I'm gonna say probably around 4 hours.
Okay.
You spend about 4 hours a week picking movies.
Not a week,
A month?
yeah, I just sit down and look them all over and see what's doing well, what's not doing well.
About 4 hours a month.
That's what you spend right now?
Hmm?
And that's what you spend right now? And then if you
That's
do
what it
your
is.
own booking, you don't know how much it's gonna go up?
It'll be about the same, because it's still the same strategy that you're doing.
And how many hours a month do you think you spend like shopping for stuff? Are you going out to like Sam's Club or are things getting delivered?
I have stuff.
You need to let Rochelle.
Oh, I thought she was.
It's okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
I got on the hours thing.
No, it's okay. I guess I'm confused why, if it's gonna take us the same amount of time to do our own booking, why we've had a booker doing it for us all these years. I guess I'm confused.
With him, he helps guide on what we're doing, so I can suggest, and then he can suggest, okay, no, this will do better. Or if I have an issue that something if my film isn't in when it should be, I can call and say, hey, where's my film? It should have been here, my key should have been here.
So what are we gonna do when we come up against all of those items without him?
Then I'm responsible.
Are you prepared to be responsible for that stuff?
I'm gonna have to be.
So, how
I'll
many
be
times
dealing-
did you pick out movies and he said, you don't wanna do that?
A few. Or he would recommend, I'd say, okay, can we do this? And he'll like, no, because you have to have this movie for X amount of weeks. And I'm like, then, no, then we'll do this, and what do you think? And
So essentially it's gonna take quite a bit more time longer than what it takes right now.
I'd say so.
Because she's gonna have to research and network and see how long one movie she has to keep for versus another movie she has to keep for, and when she can order another movie.
Right, so that's what I was trying to figure out is how many hours is this fee of her time? So it's 226 hours a year. So divide that by, say, 8. So 28 days a year. So basically 2 full days a month is what it would take to get to that. So if you don't think that it would take you 2 full days a month, then maybe we'd have some savings, but I don't know that we're gonna save $3,620. I'm a little concerned. I don't mind giving it a try, but I just wonder if we get ourselves in a pickle and we end up spending more time and it's taken away from your other responsibilities and you have to delegate more, that we're right where we ended, where we started. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, if they got rid of, essentially, don't start the concession stand until the person taking money at the box office is done, that eliminates one employee having to do anything, and there's still 2 employees because she's still there every day. And then, I mean, essentially you can switch out, plus you have the volunteers, and you still have that one employee that knows everything, so that way you still have somebody to fall back on that knows what you're doing. And in cases where you go on vacation, like, you know, most places have a manager and assistant manager. That's my position right now, my job. You know, we deal with pretty much essentially what the big boss deals with when they're either gone or when we're being management for the day. And if you have at least one person that does that, and then the rest of the people you rely on for your volunteers, that might free up the time that you need in order to do the extra work that you're looking to do. Or that they're looking to have you do.
May I ask a question? Rochelle, are you done with your answer?
I think so, yes.
Questions?
Yeah.
In your contract with the town, I'm just curious, how much vacation do you get in a year?
3
3 weeks?
weeks.
And I was wondering, I'm not sure I understand. So you're kind of looking for us to go ahead and give you the okay to say, and I see what Rochelle's saying about the, to eliminate the booking guide. You're just kind of holding off on us to give you the okay.
If that's what you guys
If that's,
want.
that's kind of what you're, and if and when that happens, how long do you think that process is gonna take? Do you think it's gonna take 2 weeks or?
Well, that's why I said I'm waiting on my email now from Andy and John to tell me how much of a transition it will take.
Okay. So I think that you need to perhaps consider being a little bit more persistent. I know you probably feel like
No,
you're
I have
bugging him.
been, but with this storm, and he's as busy as everybody else. And I've been, because I spent all day Monday at the theater
Yeah, no, you did.
for them to shovel off the roof. And that's another thing, people. People of the town. I spent all day.
But while you're there, you
I
can
was
be doing the
doing-
book work and
I've
all of
done
that.
all
so-
kinds of other things.
Right. It's
It's
not.
not just a waste of my time,
Right.
no, but I am there. And making sure that they're doing their job, that they're supposed to be up top on the roof and make sure that they're fine. And it usually doesn't take them all day. They didn't leave until 6:30. I thought they said there was 15 inches up there, but it was actually 18 inches on the roof. And it's $550 each time they come.
The town doesn't do that? Or they do?
No. So, that bill was over $1,600 for them to be there.
Wait, you just said every time they come it's $550?
$550.
For every 6 inches. it says
Thank you,
on
thank you,
I see.
Jason, I forgot that, sorry. For every 6 inches, because I will show you what, I took pictures of what our roof looks like. And this is why it's every 6 inches, because we have it external,
So, it's
and
big.
you know. And
What's up, Jason?
I do have a friend that's been doing the roof for 40 years.
it's,
And I told him the pricing for the roof and explained it. And he said that you are getting a pretty good deal because
right,
he has to hire a crew. They've got to pay them all day. And they don't do it for little money. They're up on a roof literally risking their life.
Yeah.
So that actually is good because I had looked at that and thought, geez, $550 for every 6 inches, every storm, that could be $2,000. So I went to my friend and told him, and he said that that's spot on. I don't think you're gonna find it cheaper, I don't think you'll find it quicker. That just has to be done, and you have to pay that to get it done.
and these little storms that we've had, and I'm very frugal. Because I've even had, his name is Chris Knight, is who I have. He does not pay for his mileage coming up. He has to make sure, I have to make sure that he is insured. He has the liability, plus he has workman's comp. I have to also make sure that he has car insurance. He's got to have all of that, where it's a town entity. The other thing is, he and I will talk, and he's like, so do you need your roof cleaned off? And he goes, because this is how much snow we got done in Fairfield. And I'm like, no, I think I can get by. So I don't have him all the time. Like, when he'd like to come up, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm all set at this point. So I do keep an eye out of when they need to come up. And yes, this was one of the major storms, and thank goodness that we had a lot. And I know that there's a call for another 1 to 3. So if it's going to be nice weather, then I won't use him. I use him when I really, really need to. And
There's no way around shoveling the roof.
And
That
he's
roof, I
been
mean, we all.
very good, but there was only 2 guys this time. I'm like, seriously? You only got 2 guys for this roof?
Well, I think as far as the booking fee goes, I don't think a lot of people use
Bookers
Bookers anymore.
No.
So I definitely think that that's where we need to go. I just want everybody on board to realize that it might not be a full $3,620 savings by the time we're done. So as long as everybody's on board with that, we're good.
Okay. So our calendar, everybody done with their questions?
Well, I was still kind of wondering about your shopping. Do you?
Uh.
Well, I just out of curiosity, are you getting things delivered to you, or are you spending in your gas? And do you have like a?
Like when I went over to see John, or if I go to Sam's, that's on me. I do not, and I've done this for years, and people are like, why don't you ask for your mileage? I do not.
But what about your
But when I-
Sam's Club membership?
When I
That yours or the town?
No, that's the town.
Good.
And I said that's coming up in March, and that will come under my budget for that. It's like $45 or something like that. I do order out of New Jersey. I'm trying. And I've been so busy with everything else, I have not got back to another guy I want to try to get to. He's out of New Hampshire instead of going all the way down into New Jersey or whatever to order different candy. Or if I can see about going to Walmart even, and getting like snow caps and stuff like that. And I think I might be able to do that.
Might
instead.
wanna check with Chris at Shop and Save.
I wonder if I can get them cheaper though at,
But I mean, he might order them in for you at cost.
this is true.
I mean, yes, you'll get them cheaper at Walmart than you would on the
Right.
shelf, but he might order them in special order
Just
you
a
stuff.
small
Yeah.
percentage
Just
for
to- right.
handling or something. It's worth
Maybe.
asking.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
have
know
the
that,
notes here,
but.
what to do for tomorrow.
Yeah, I know that half
Oh,
of
this
done the same thing with meat for my mother. So
Yeah.
I may be willing to do the same thing
Yeah.
for other products.
And I know he'll special order he'll special order things for people. Cause the soda thing too, you get that right through Pepsi
Yes.
or whatever, and they come deliver, which is probably
Yes.
best, cause then they maintain your machine.
Yes, they do, that's our
Right.
contract.
Right.
We have to go through them.
And
Yeah.
do your cups and stuff come from them?
Yeah. That's under the contract. I don't know because I said it. I've always did that way too, because with the contract, then they're advertising, so you're advertising for them, so.
Right.
Okay.
I have one more.
Yep.
I just wanna make sure, like, I know the finance committee met the other night, we talked about a lot of stuff here, I know you guys are talking about stuff too. I don't know, this is not my forte about how to implement some of these changes, whether we implement these changes little by little, or we all collectively get together and say, okay, now we're gonna implement these 15 changes all together. I don't know what the best way is to do it, but I feel like as long as we're all on the same page, like I don't want you guys working on revenue streams if I'm working on revenue streams, do you know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe what's your advice on how to implement some of these changes, like if we wanted to close the theater a couple of nights a week and we wanted to up prices, what's the best way to do this? Little by little or everything all together?
The committee is the ones that decide on the pricing.
No, I know, but I know.
As far as, like,
our
process?
recommendations and then process, yeah.
So our plan for our next meeting, so our hope of what we hope to accomplish at the end of our process, which could really be 3-4 months, is like sustainable solution recommendations that are like research based, where we've like gone through, we have like a policy analysis path that we follow. So we're gonna go through this in like a meticulous process to make recommendations. Our hope is like in doing that we come up with little things like we did today, these little pieces. As far as like us communicating, I really hope you'll give me the like data you already
No,
put
I
in the
absolutely
spreadsheet.
will, yeah.
And like we can just talk, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
I do not want to put anything into an Excel sheet that you have already done. I have been up until 11 p.m. searching for a missing comma before, and I do not want to do that if somebody else has already done that. And then, no, I would recommend it really, I think if you guys are using a scorecard or an evaluation tool and it looks like our evaluation tool, that when we're making recommendations, we're speaking the same language. You know, we know our criteria when we're looking at solutions. We've talked about that. We know what matters to us. We know what our values are for the theater. I think if we understood more of the committee's values and what is it that you're looking for, is it right? Is it always the cost-benefit solution that's going to work out in the end? You know, how much are you weighing the social factor as this is a public good and service? You know, how does that fall for you? We're kind of getting an idea of those things for us, but where is it for you? I don't know if that answers your question.
It does. I wonder if maybe, like, because I've never seen the scorecards before, maybe you could come with an example sometime and kind of walk us through what those scorecards look like, and then that way in our finance committee meetings we can kind of use them, and you guys can use them too, and then we're all on the same page. Okay.
Yeah, I can make like a draft one and bring it, like if you just want to pop me on the agenda for next week and I can just suggest it. I like ones that have, you know, like scales so that we don't have to, you know, you talk, say like cost, you would talk about all the costs and then as a group you would say, okay, so this one rates a 3 on cost. That's kind of the template I like because it's just a lot easier than at the end to line it up and say, this solution has a score of a 17, this one has a 19.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
pros and cons,
Yeah.
but in a bigger, wider ratio.
But I think you bring up a part where we're really different, is we're really looking at approaching this in a different way. Like, you guys have to manage these emergency issues, like, we can't really help with that. We're really looking at what's the sustainable solution for the theater.
Well, that's why I
just
don't
need
even
people
feel
in.
like we can make recommendations
People need
because
to start.
I don't have market studies
People
to
need
say
to
what
start
our
coming.
areas
Yeah.
of support for children, right? Are you guys doing that?
So we thought to look at that, we would make that scorecard for the other theaters, which I think is really helpful if you guys make one too, so we can say, you know, what is Dover charging on this night, what is
Right.
Farmingdale, and it's pretty easy to layer in
Right.
demographics, and we
Right.
can look and see what are the demographics in Dover versus whether it's.
So you're on that piece of it.
Well, I wouldn't say, like, that's a lot of research
No, I
that
know
has
it
to
is.
be
No,
done.
I know.
So, like, we have a lot of to-do lists of
Okay.
research. You know, I do most of that for us,
Right.
so.
Okay.
I'm good with like marketing, any advertising. I'm also pretty good with financially things, so like and loss prevention and whatnot. But like, you know, we just try to work
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
organizing. But that's how I'm thinking that I would look at that is, you know, looking, what are those other theaters doing? What towns look like us? What towns look like us demographically? What towns have the same income as us? What towns have similar industries as us? I have friends who do GIS mapping. I could probably convince them to make me
Okay.
a pretty nice map.
Are we meeting next week?
Okay.
We're meeting next week.
I just worry that
I will have the agenda
really
earlier for you as well, but my apologies.
That's okay.
Do you want
I should have put in,
Yeah.
get into
Um,
it. And I
yeah.
have-
give your notes, send them in, have a secretary notes?
Or
Or do you want me to do it, or?
Yeah, especially like.
She can't give
No,
me
you're
her.
making
You young girls have fun. I get it, these big girls.
So are we
They know
done?
all about the computer.
That's why I can turn this off.
Yeah. Yes, adjourn the meeting.
I do have a proposal for Donna, and I'd like to run it by the committee, see what everybody thinks, and see if I can get a running start on this.
All right.
My name's Jason Perkins. I'm production manager of Cemetery Theater. We're a production company out of Bangor. I've been given the right to come speak here on behalf of Cemetery Theater. So I'd like to read through this, and if anyone has any questions or comments, please let me know what you think. The Cemetery Theater would like to propose an independent double feature at the theater on April 20th, 2019. With that, we will provide one short film, our original Sleep Eater, which is 20 minutes long. We have one feature-length Sleep Eaters, which is a follow-up to that, and that's 90 minutes. With that, we will film a host to introduce the movies on screen and talk to the Pittsfield Community Theater. So it'll be a personal experience in the theater. We would also like to provide all theater goers with free popcorn. In order to do this, we would need the average sales of a night of popcorn. I will go out, get sponsors, and have them pay the theater directly that money so there's no loss on the free popcorn. With that, we will film a 30-second spot that will show in between to thank them for giving the free popcorn. We will also involve them in all promotions we do, thanking them for their sponsorship. We'll go on the radio and news shows a week before the showing to promote the theater. We will also host a Q&A after the showing with Shane Grant, who is the owner, writer, director of Cemetery Theater, and with the cast and crew. And Shane and I will work directly with Donna to ensure that everything runs smooth.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes,
What is this rated? The movie rated?
this would be rated R. It is an adult movie. That's sort of why I picked April 20th. Anyone that knows that number, there's a growing number of people calling that a holiday. That holiday happens to hit our demographic. So we would be able to fill the theater that night. We filmed.
Oh, okay. I'm getting it.
Friday the 13th or something, like, why horror? That's not what I want.
Well, that's what we do, and we're local Maine. What I'm hoping to do is fill the theater and get interest. Maybe with this, once a month.
Mm.
We have a vast reach of other filmmakers that could do an independent movie once a month
That'd be good.
that is donated to the theater. There's no brokering. The theater keeps all the money that comes in, and we find the sponsors to cover the popcorn.
Oh,
That
you're
will
gonna,
get-
you're gonna find the sponsors for that?
I will cover the sponsors, I will cover the commercials, and we will put together a full 2-hour show that has the host, both movies, and the sponsor.
Now, what would you, like, what day, you would want this on, like, a Saturday?
This would be, April 20th is a Saturday.
This year.
Um,
During the, at night, not during the day.
It would be at night, I'm thinking 7, but 7:30 would work. We can cut it to 2 hours, show both movies.
On that same night?
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
run a
Okay.
2-hour
Okay.
stretch.
Okay. So,
But in order to do this, I would need to make sure it's okay, because we have to find a host, write a script, and film it. And then we have to image the 2 movies together. Plus, I have to find a sponsor, film the commercial, and get that in there. So I can't say next week we can do this. I have to put this off a little bit.
Yeah.
So I wanted to run that by you guys. If you're into it, I will take this ball and run with it.
Okay. I don't think that we can do anything tonight. I think it's something we need to vote on. We're not prepared to. I think we
Do you
need to
guys
think
not
about
have a
this.
quorum? Is that what's the matter?
What's up?
Do you not have a quorum?
Yeah, there's enough people to.
I think we need to look into it.
I think this is another great time where a scorecard would be really helpful
Exactly.
because in that presentation you could be able to say, this is how much money we think that this event would get us, this is how much it would cost.
So you don't have any
these are
movies
the
right now that would
barriers.
be appropriate to show without, going through all the filming and everything between now and April?
Oh, we have the 2 movies done.
Oh, I thought you said
All
you were
I'm talking
filming.
about is filming a host that will personally talk to the audience, thank them for coming to the Pittsfield Community Theater on
Okay.
screen.
And what do we do?
Think
with
Tales
on
from the Crypt,
Saturday
the
night,
Crypt
10
Keeper.
people?
Our guy would probably be like a Dracula guy. We're still working on the character, we don't have it yet.
Yeah.
But he would introduce both movies. It brings me back to old school creature double feature with the host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we would do for 2
Right.
hours.
When was the last time you
So
had a
both of
rated
these-
R movie?
We show like 2 a year, 1 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this wouldn't be an all-week thing, it'd be just a
Right.
special
Yeah,
day.
it'd be one day.
That's
Right.
a little different
And
than.
if
You said each film is only an hour,
One's 90.
The
one's
original
20.
Sleep Eaters is a short for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, okay,
Sleep Eaters, it's our feature length, is 90 minutes,
so an hour and a half.
an hour and a half, and then a 30-second commercial. And then we probably literally only have 5 minutes of the host cut in between the 3. He'd open the show,
So what
the
if,
first one would end, he'd talk about how much he liked it, we'd thank the free popcorn, throw in the 30-second commercial, and Sleep Eaters would start right up. The movie would end, he would thank everyone for coming to Pittsfield Community Theater, and invite them to stay for a cast and crew Q&A.
all right, so you said a 30-minute commercial?
No,
30
30
seconds.
seconds.
Seconds, I'm like,
No.
okay, sorry, because I'm like, 30 minutes, that's all.
Yeah, that's a bit long, and
Right.
no one's gonna sit through
so
that,
you-
but
With this also, if we decide to do that, is that something you could do in a slideshow so we can advertise it on screen beforehand?
Have the commercial
Just-
part when he films
or-
it be.
Or just a little
Trailer like?
trailer?
like put a
yeah.
trailer together?
But appropriate for all audiences.
That's,
The hard
Well,
part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's an R-rated, they can go on with the PG-13. Yeah, you can. I wouldn't put it with a G or a PG, you know what I'm saying? But it can go on to a PG-13 movie. But I wouldn't be able to run it with my, what's I just say, to explain this. What I was thinking was with a little bit of a trailer, I can put that on like a slideshow. I've taught myself how to do this, believe it or not. Because my guy that I had was no longer there, so I had to teach myself how to do this. And, I'm not the greatest, but I manage. So I would just put in with our slideshow so it will come up often on our screen.
Like up and coming, blah, blah, blah.
Right, right.
Yeah, so would you be looking for like stills? Or,
It could be, yeah, because it wouldn't go on with my movies trailers that are coming out, because those are totally different. Those,
right, it wouldn't be shown in front of the movies.
right, this will be coming on like at 7 o'clock. when the
Well,
doors
While
open
people are
and
coming
it's
in and sitting down.
and
waiting.
they'll see this coming up, so this event is coming. Because this is what I'm gonna do with the Mary Poppins, I'm gonna make it into a slide to put on, so people know that it's coming, this Saturday. I'm like, oh my gosh, so, yes, and I'm gonna, so if that could happen, that'd be great.
I can
I
probably
can,
do
I can
that.
work with you, Jason, on that.
Yeah, I can get Shane down to the theater to
Mm-hmm.
talk to you and meet with you.
Okay.
He's more of a technical guy.
Okay, all right,
I'm,
like I said.
I pull everything together and make it happen.
Okay, all right.
I do the filming and, you know, if
Uh.
they need me in front of the camera, but I'm more of a behind the scenes, get it done.
Now, do you know a lot of other independent film kind of people? Like if this went well,
If this
would
went well,
you
we
be able
have-
to help network us into doing this as a regular event
There's
with
a
other
huge
people?
network of independent filmmakers in Maine
Yeah.
that we are in constant contact with.
Okay.
When we're putting a movie together, the first thing Shane will do is contact someone, he's seen their movie, he liked this person in the movie, talk to them. So it's a huge network, and there's a lot of movies out there. You could do it once a month, they would donate the movie, and
Is this,
it's just a way to get money coming
right,
in.
right,
And
right.
it's a way to involve the community I've already talked to a few business owners that are all ready to go with this.
Okay, and these are all on DVD, or are they?
We can put it on DVD. We have a way to get to Blu-ray, but that's a lot more expensive with what we've got.
Okay.
So if we could do it just on the Blu-ray, we can.
DVD.
The DVD,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
just
fine.
the DVD,
Okay.
then we can bang that right out. It's just a matter of filming.
Is it something that we can see prior to?
Absolutely.
Okay.
As a matter of
So
fact,
we can
Sleep
do a little-
Eaters,
Viewing.
the original 20-minute is available at the library in town to
Okay.
check out for free.
And Amber, I'll just say really quick, if you're thinking of doing regular independent movies, it might be a good idea to write a policy about it, so that if there are people who are interested, or while Jason's out, promoting and talking with his people, he already knows what are the things you're gonna say yes to, what are the things you're gonna say no to, what the stipulations are, so he's not wasting his time. And so that he's being sure he's sharing really good information.
The only thing is that with that, when they are independent, then we're all set that way. There's no other certain,
Insurance or
or contracts or anything that way. It's whether we say yes or no.
So I would just put that in writing, like,
No X-rated movies.
Right,
We
or
don't
like
want
exactly.
this.
That's-
Yeah.
like, are you gonna
That's one
vote on
thing that I'm
them?
very adamant about. We do have movies with some nudity into it. No sexual and absolutely no pornography at all
Okay.
will come through what
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
think
bring to
really
this
that's the
theater.
biggest thing that I think we
Right.
all want to make sure.
That might be a fear of everyone. Oh, it's a horror. How far are they gonna push it? What am I gonna see? Sleep Eaters is really, it's an action adventure comedy with some gore thrown in at the end.
Okay.
The Vassalboro mill gave us the mill we shot for 48 hours straight. We have a lot of extras in the Waterville area that will come here with their friends and family to see it.
Great.
What was it you sent me?
I sent you Blind Date. Go to YouTube and check out Blind Date under Cemetery Theater. That's the type of thing we do.
All right,
Albeit,
guys.
Sleep Eaters is a
need
little
this
bit
one.
more gory than Blind Date. Blind
need to
Date isn't
close.
gory, it's
Yes.
more story driven.
What's up, Jerry?
But I do ask you to check it out and see what you think.
So is this gonna be tabled for next week? Or is this an okay thing?
I think we should discuss it next week. I think we will table it to next week. We can all look at what
Well,
they
that's
have to
the
offer.
only thing, is we do have to write a script and get it ready to make it personal for Pittsfield Community Theater. We want him to say the name of the place in the opening. We want him to thank everyone for coming to it at the ending. And do our own thing with the character.
And
Make
if he
people
had a
like
little
him.
snippet too that we could put on, you know, the Facebook page or the, you know, so there's a little commercial to it that these guys can share on their page or.
But they're doing it all.
Right, the little
They're
trailer.
doing it all.
Won't be out
I mean, it's
anything.
just, yeah.
We'll want one of us.
We'll just give, I do too.
Yeah, we have two people on, but
And if something costs the same money, we'll let it be out what we would have in ticket sales on a Saturday.
Policy about how you make
Just on that
You were like me, rule followers.
I really love those a whole lot, but if you had
I feel
a
like I'm
procedure
gonna
for
take a
when
big
these
look.
policy requests come through, you know, they have to fill out this form.
This could be a
They
good
have to
start.
have
Okay.
I know we're not
How much
Waterville,
they
we have a lot
do.
more theaters and stuff, but they're.
I mean, I can get policies even for my store, like, I follow policies
I've been
on a
down there
daily,
before
like
with
loss
the Waterville
prevention is a
Independent
thing.
Film
Okay,
Festival.
I have my
so-
daily into loss
Crazy.
prevention, inventories,
Yes.
policies.
So, who?
I'd like to vote on it. Is
All right.
that what I need to say?
Yes.
And somebody needs to second me?
I second you.
Who is in favor of cemetery
Cemetery theater.
theater coming in on
Fourth
4/20
I
and
think you have mine,
doing,
and I can get you in touch
Yeah,
with
in
you.
favor.
okay,
I'm basically Shane's voice here. He lives in Bangor.
All right, we're lined up for.
We got it.
You're on.
We're lined up for the 20th?
Oh,
Stay and
One-
you just a minute.
Yep.
it is Passover.
Oh,
I do
I don't think
have,
it's
some,
that.
like, we have people on board to come in and do a comedy act.
okay, we've got
I-
enough for tonight.
Can
Okay?
we bring that next week?
Okay.
Are we gonna?
But I'm thinking the
Realistic.
sooner the better, so that we're,
But you can't
Right,
until you know
and
the
then,
insurance
you know.
policy, otherwise all these things are
yeah,
gonna
and until
talk
Jeffrey gets
about.
back, we can't do anything that
Right.
may not go with what the
Right.
insurance policy that we don't know what it is.
But these guys don't need
I
one?
think that we.
We're just
It's just showing a movie.
Because it's
It's
one
independent.
movie and it's independent.
And
I
we will
know.
bring the cast and crew in for Q&A afterwards. We might ask for a table to set up, sell some t-shirts, and maybe if we could take donations for the theater, but that would be it.
All the things probably should be written in a policy though, so you're direct.
but that's where I was kind of wondering how much.
Are we